Hello friends and welcome to the Cold War Prepper. My name is Lee and today we're going to show you how to set up your new Zippo. So if you order the kit with the link that's down below in the description, this is what you'll get. You'll get a brand new Zippo lighter, a container of flints, and a can of Zippo lighter fluid. This should be enough under normal circumstances to last you for about 2 or 3 years. But once you take it out, let me show you how you need to set up your Zippo. So let me hand the camera to my wife, and I'll show you how you can set up your Zippo. So we're going to focus on the table.
Okay.
So when you first get your Zippo, you're going to notice that it's got this seal on it that keeps it sealed shut. The bottom is loose, the top is not. So just reach down below and you can zip it right off. And sometimes it opens it as well. Now what you want to do is you want to check, make sure you got the wick good. You're going to pull it out. And there's a screw down at the bottom, this brass screw. The brass screw is made to be taken out with a penny, but I'm going to use my handy dandy trusty Swiss Army knife. And you only need to do this the first time you do it, because once you get this done, it's kind of pressured in there from the factory. It's not doing me any good. There we go. So you're going to take that out. Now this is spring loaded. So when you get this out, you're going to notice there's a big spring in there, and that's what keeps the ferrocerium rod up top. And then you're going to jump out that ferrocerium rod. So there it is right there. Now we need to take out this felt piece that's covering the top. I'm going to use a large pair of forceps, and we're just going to kind of pull this out and pull that totally out. Now, there should be 5 pieces of bunting here that we're going to take out. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then this one over here on the inside the post. This can be a little bit difficult. There we go. This is what's going to actually hold the lighter fluid. And then 5. Okay, now down at the bottom, if you take a look, you see that the wick's been crammed all the way down there. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get that wick so it's going to absorb more and be more lasting for you. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure we get it set straight in the chimney here. Tell you the truth, I've never had it come out like that before. Now, how you set up your wick in this top part, in the flame chamber up here, if you have it all the way up the very top, it's going to be a very high flame. If you have it down here about where this bottom, in between the 2 and the 1 down here, it's going to be a low flame. I like to set mine just below where this first hole is, right there. It's going to be about a medium height flame. Once we get that done, then we're going to take this, we're going to force it over to one side. Then we're going to put our first piece of bunting on top of that. And pack that back in there. Then we're going to fold the wick back over the top of that piece of bunting. We're going to put in another piece. Pack it in there. We're going to take the piece that went around the pole here, where we had the ferrocerium rod, and get that back inside there, which is the most difficult of all the parts.
Move your finger there.
There we go. Okay, so we got that one down, stuffed down in there. We're going to bring the wick back over the top of this one now and fold it over. Put in another piece of bunting. Pack it down pretty good. And then we can just leave our wick there. This one's going to go on the inside of the pole. And then we're going to take this one, just lay it in there. Now this has to be packed down really, really tight because we still have to fit the felt top back on it. Now, what we did, especially in the Army, was we would then take our ferro rods that came in here. Other people typically call them flints, and we'd empty that out and we'd lay it on top of this bunting here. Then we'd put our felt back on top of it. So that way you always had your ferro rods or your flint in your lighter should that something happen to it. Now we're going to take the flint, we're going to put it back down in this little hole. Our spring-loaded pressure rod here, and then close that up and make it. Now this only has to be finger tight. You don't have to get it really super tight. Now once that's done, we're pretty good to go. What I like to do at this point, notice that we have the wick here in the middle. It's about the medium height that I told you. Now if it were too high, you could get a good pair of nice little tweezed scissors like this and just cut it off. Or you can use something like a Swiss Army knife and cut it off. I think that's just about the right height. So what I do now is I like to take my flint and make sure I'm roughing it up a little bit with the wheel. This wick, I had one lighter for 10 years and never replaced the wick. So the wick will not burn down as long as you've got fluid in your lighter. But once you run out of fluid, then it's burning the wick instead of the fluid. What I do now is I take this and pour it up. Then I put it upside down inside the holder. And now we take the fluid and we're going to put the fluid inside that little hole that's right there in the middle. What I do is I count to 4. So we're going to insert it in that little hole, squeeze 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it come up, let it breathe a little bit and kind of soak in. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we want to make sure everything dries. Now the reason I put it back in the canister before filling it up with any lighter fluid is if you overfill it, that way it's not going to go all over everything. It's going to be contained inside your lighter. So we'll let that soak for a minute or two, and then we can bring it back up. Remember to pull this down. So now it's in the open position. We've got it here. Seal it shut. I want to let my fingers dry. Flip it open, and voila, we have flame. So that's how you do your brand new Zippo lighter. So this is Lee, the Cold War Prepper, saying, remember, we're all in this together so we can come out the other side together. Please be kind, polite, and respectful to each other because togetherness is the key. Take care. Bye-bye.